How's it going, everyone? Yes, I'm back here with another video and I hope you're having an amazing week so far. Today, we are going to answer a very important question, and that is, should you get an aftermarket exhaust? Is it worth it? Is it something that you should do? So, today, we are gonna find out. But before we get into the details of the video, if you're new to the channel, thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Yosef. I happen to be a car enthusiast with 3 kids who used to sell cars in the past. So if you're interested in my perspective, please consider subscribing. All right, now on with the video. So to kick things off, we are going to use my 2023 Volkswagen Golf R. Now it comes with a decent exhaust. It sounds okay, but I always felt like it was just missing something, missing a little soul and passion. And I figured maybe we should change up the exhaust just to add a little more excitement to the driving dynamics. So we went to a company called Badgeskins, and Badgeskins have been helping me out with a lot of things. They helped get my little reflector sort of color matched, and they've been great partners with me. And so I thought, you know what, I'll reach out to them, see if they can help me out getting this exhaust. And I did a ton of research trying to figure out what's the right exhaust, what sounds good, what's not too obnoxious, what looks nice and adds value to the car. And the owner of Badgeskins, his name is Dennis, an amazing guy. He has this AWE exhaust for his Marque Golf R, and he said, Yosef, if this is something that you would want, I'm happy to help you out. And so I decided on the AWE exhaust. And then we went to a company called M2B. They are a local garage here in Markham, Ontario, and they helped me out with the install. So I'm gonna take you to M2B in a moment. You're gonna see how the process works with installing the exhaust, what it sounded like before, and what it sounds like after. And then we're gonna go for a drive, and I'm gonna let you know if it was worth it or not. So let's go. So step number 1 is to get the Golf R on a hoist, lift it up so we can see the work that needs to be done under there. And what's really cool about the way the stock exhaust sits is that it's all in one piece. So it's very, very simple to get things off, and you don't have a lot of finagling to do with different parts. So it was really great to see that. And to be honest, because I haven't driven my car a whole lot, it is still very clean. So it wasn't a very messy job. All it took was some loosening of some bolts, removing some hangers, taking off one clamp, and then slowly sort of shifting it away from all the other parts and lowering it down. Next, we did some test fitting of the main pipe. We put up the clamps and just sort of fit everything in loosely so that we can see how it's going to sit before we put the mufflers and the exhaust tips on. One of the most labor-intensive parts is getting these bushings for the hangers off. They are stuck on very, very tight, which is a great thing coming from the factory at Volkswagen, but it took a little bit of finagling. Eventually we got them off on one side and then the other side, and then we were good to put them on the new exhaust so that they could hang properly. Now we move ourselves to the new exhaust system, and you'll notice that we've already started putting those bushings on with the hangers so that the muffler has a place to sit. And once that was done, it was time to lift it up and put it on the Golf R and start connecting everything, again, pretty loosely, just to see how everything fits, because ultimately we got to get everything set up the right way so that the tips all line up and everything looks great. But until then, we set everything up nice and loose, just hanging up there so that we can see how everything looks and fits. Now things get exciting because we can put on those split pipes so that we can loosely mount the tips. Once everything was aligned and tightened up, we had the finished product, and it was time to take a step back and just take a look at this beautiful AWE touring exhaust. And one of the cool things about this AWE exhaust is it has a 180 technology, and ultimately what that does is really help kind of take out the vibrations and noises and resonance that would normally come out of the exhaust sound and get rid of the stuff that we don't want and just keep the sound that we really do want. One other cool fact about AWE is that it's a local American company, and so they make the products and design them and manufacture them in the United States. But at this point, I'm sure you're probably wondering, let's see the before and afters, let's listen to it, how it sounded stock from the factory, and how it sounds now that we've got this beautiful AWE exhaust on the car. All right, so let's start with the befores. So this is how it sounds just when it's in its quiet mode. But there's a sport mode that you can get to, and listen to this. Not bad, and now time for the AWE. So, has it improved? Has it made the driving experience more fun, more engaging, and is it worth buying an aftermarket exhaust for your car? Well, in short, the answer is yes, but not any aftermarket exhaust, because I think there are so many different types of exhausts out there, and it's important to get a really good quality one that's going to make that sort of enhancement and not just be a loud, obnoxious sound that drives everybody crazy. And after a lot of research, I was really torn to figure out, which exhaust would be the right one, which will really make a difference, which will make that driving experience so much better and will be worth the money. And after hours and hours of doing research and looking up different companies and hearing YouTube videos and trying to hear, what sounds the best, I went with my gut. And a lot of people said, you've got to go with the AWE exhaust. It's a great catback system. It's a bolt-on. There's no check engine lights. There's nothing that's going to make things worse. It's just going to make it that much better. And then they had a track version and a touring version. And again, I was so torn, and I thought, you know what? Better stick with the safer one, the one that's a little bit quieter, and go with the touring edition. And I have to say, I am so happy with it. It's been over a week now that I've had the exhaust, and I've been driving around, and every time I get in the car and turn it on and go for a drive, it just puts such a big smile on my face. I feel like it enhances that driving experience. The fact that you've got this amazing car, it's a performance car, it's a fun car, and now you've got the sound that goes with it that just adds that little bit of drama. That's what this car was missing. And to me, that is everything I really wanted in an exhaust anyways. And I know a lot of people are just thinking, well, it's stupid. You buy an exhaust. At the end of the day, it's just the waste from the engine. Why do you care so much about that? Why is that important? Well, for those of you that have grown up watching Top Gear and the Grand Tour and, are car enthusiasts and love cars, you'll know that we're just wired a certain way. We're wired in a way that we just want that experience. We want more than just the drive. We want more than just the speed. You want something that's going to tickle your senses in every way. And sound is a big part of that. And if you have a car that sounds exciting and interesting, it can make or break the experience. And so for me, it was really important to just open up the soul of this car a little bit and get something that just adds that little bit that was missing from the experience. And this AWE touring exhaust, in my opinion, does it. It gives me all that little bit that I was waiting for, that was missing in the car before. And I truly, truly enjoy the way this car drives and sounds now. And for those of you that are kind of new to cars, or maybe the next generation watching this video when everything's all electric, you won't really understand this. You won't have the same appreciation because you're coming from an era where things are just quick and you take for granted, you know, the speed, and you don't really have the same connection with the driving experience. But those of you that are my age or older, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And this is why supercars, you know, have these exotic sounding exhausts. You know, they really care about the way that it sounds, and people love V12s and V10s just because of that. You can have that even if you don't have a V12 or a V10. You can enjoy a really good sounding car even if you just have a turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. So to sum up, I am so grateful for not only having the opportunity to buy an aftermarket exhaust for my Golf R, but also for all the folks at Badge Skins who have helped me out making this decision, making the purchasing of the exhaust so much easier, and for the folks at M2B who have done an amazing job installing the exhaust and were patient and willing to listen to my whole rant about how I wanted to record the process and, you know, let me do it. So I'm so grateful. And for those of you that are looking for modifications for your cars, please hit up Badge Skins. They are an amazing local company, super nice people, car enthusiasts, people who really care about cars, and they produce amazing products. And if you need a mechanic, somebody to go and install that stuff, somebody that you can trust, that's honest, that also loves cars and is really great at modifying things, our folks at M2B, they are amazing people. Big shout out to Mike over there. He did an amazing job installing this exhaust. And again, thank you to everybody who's supported so far. I really appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video.